Our first date felt like a scene from a movie. A rooftop restaurant, soft lights, city view shining like a promise. Ava walked in wearing a silk dress that looked expensive without trying. Heads turned, and I pretended not to notice, but I did. She smiled like I was the only person in the room worth seeing. I ordered pasta and wine, simple and comfortable. She ordered the truffle risotto, oysters, and a cocktail I could barely pronounce. I didn't mind. It felt good to take care of someone who looked like success. When the bill came, she reached into her purse with dramatic concern. Then she gasped softly like it hurt. "Oh my God, I forgot my wallet," she whispered. Her voice trembled just enough to feel sincere. I paid without hesitation, telling myself anyone could forget. She touched my hand and said she would pay next time. That touch felt like gratitude and affection mixed together. It worked on me more than it should have. Next time came sooner than I expected. A brunch spot with tiny plates and beautiful plates no one finished. She laughed, joked, took photos, tagged me like we were already us. I felt chosen, admired, worth showing off. Then her card had an error, something about the bank. I paid again. No big deal, I thought. A third time happened when her paycheck was delayed. A fourth when her purse was left in a rideshare. Each time came with cute apologies and soft kisses on my cheek. She talked about life like she was meant for luxury and sunshine. I listened like I believed her future meant I was rising too. Her friends loved her and envied her, and they loved us together. They joked about men paying because real men provide. I laughed along like it didn't sting a little. I bought her flowers, and she posted them with a caption about romance. She hugged me and whispered that she felt lucky to have me. That whisper drowned every doubt I had. She showed up with perfectly curled hair and manicured nails every week. She brought fragrance like a signature no one else could wear. I told myself effort like that deserved being treated well. She sent screenshots of bracelets she liked, dresses she dreamed of. Never directly asked, just hinted like an art form. And when I surprised her, her excitement looked real enough to believe. We went to dinners, rooftop bars, late-night ice cream stops. Every bill slid to me like it belonged there. Every compliment from her made the cost feel invisible. She held my arm like she was proud to be next to me. I mistook possession for affection. I mistook glitter for gold. Back then, I thought love was giving without counting. I thought effort would build loyalty. She was dazzling, magnetic, impossible to resist. And I was willing to pay the price before I knew there was one. Year 2 felt different before I even realized why. The sweetness was still there, but it tasted lighter, thinner, like diet affection. Ava didn't change overnight. She shifted one comment at a time. It started with tiny suggestions, wrapped in compliments. "You look amazing in designer suits," she said, brushing lint off my shirt. "We should upgrade your wardrobe," she added casually. "Not that what you wear is bad, just safe." Safe? It sounded harmless until it didn't. Then came the comments about my car. "Your Honda is cute," she smiled. "But don't you want something more grown-up someday?" Cute. Like it was a puppy, not years of hard work paid in full. She compared my salary to influencers and entrepreneurs she followed online. 85,000 is good, she said. But don't you ever feel like aiming higher? She said it with a curious tone, not judgmental. At first. But curiosity turned into expectation, then disappointment. She started scrolling Instagram beside me, sighing dramatically. "Look at this trip," she'd say. "Look at this restaurant, this view, this yacht." She didn't ask for it. She just made it feel like we were missing something. Like I wasn't trying hard enough to chase better. My hobbies became her favorite joke. She called gaming kid time. She called my PC builds toys. "Why don't you invest in experiences instead?" she asked. But experiences to her didn't mean hikes or road trips or cozy nights in. Experiences meant high-end brunches, champagne brunches, rooftop parties, spa retreats. Everything that sparkled, but never lasted longer than an Instagram story. She rolled her eyes at my Saturday mornings with friends online. She curled her lips when I got excited about new hardware releases. She made maturity sound like giving up joy. She made ambition sound like chasing what she found impressive. She joined new social circles filled with people who cared more about photos than conversations. She spoke their language faster than I could understand it. When we went out with her friends, I felt like a background prop. They talked about brands and trips, and people who could open doors. They laughed at jokes I didn't get and whispered when I spoke. Ava smiled politely at me like she was babysitting. Sometimes, she cut me off mid-sentence to steer the conversation somewhere shinier. I started feeling like the least exciting thing in her world. At home, she was distracted, answering DMs, planning outfits, chasing moments to post. We had quiet nights, but they felt like placeholders, not comfort. She didn't criticize loudly. She dismissed quietly. Small sighs. Delayed replies. Half listening. Half loving. She never said I wasn't enough. She just acted like she deserved more. I tried harder. Nicer restaurants. Weekend getaways. A raise at work. More effort, more giving, less peace. I didn't see myself losing ground. I thought I was investing. I thought love meant growth, even if it hurt. I didn't know I was rising to meet someone who was already looking above me. I didn't realize yet that I was chasing a place in her future, while she reserved her heart for a richer version of me. Month 30 came like a quiet storm. No shouting, no drama, just a shift I could feel in the walls. Ava guarded her phone like it held nuclear codes. Face down, silent mode, taken to the bathroom every time. Girls, nights multiplied, and invites for me disappeared. Her excuses tasted sour, even when she smiled delivering them. I'm allowed to have a life outside us, she said. And somehow, I felt guilty for wanting time together. She posted less with me, more with city lights and cocktails. More captions about independence and choosing yourself. I didn't see self-love. I saw an exit strategy in progress. Every compliment turned into a comparison. Every silence felt like judgment. She stared at other men in tailored suits like she was window shopping. Look at that car, she'd whisper. Look at his watch. Look at his life. I started working more, thinking love was earned in effort and paychecks. Thinking sacrifice could fix what was cracking. I didn't realize I was auditioning for a role she'd already recast. Then came the engagement party. A glamorous rooftop, champagne towers. Rented confidence everywhere. Ava shined in her designer dress, paid for by me after her card failed again. She posed like she was campaigning for a lifestyle, not celebrating a love story. I wandered outside for air and purpose. That's when I heard her voice behind me, laughing with friends. Honestly, I'm just waiting for something better, she said. He's comfortable, but he's not exciting. He's safe, she repeated, like it was an insult. And then the dagger. Cole asked me to visit Miami. He understands ambition. He could give me the life I deserve. I froze so hard my heartbeat felt loud enough to interrupt them. 3 years, and I was a placeholder. A training ground for her future luxury. A turning page before the real story. They giggled like cruelty was a love language. When we got in the car, I stayed silent, burning. That was fun, she chirped, scrolling through photos we didn't take together. So I'm just a backup plan, I said quietly. She didn't deny it. She didn't panic. She rolled her eyes. Oh my God, don't be dramatic. Everyone vents. It's not that serious. You told them you were waiting for something better, I said. She sighed like I was inconveniencing her self-delusion. I'm young and beautiful. I shouldn't settle. I stared at her like I didn't recognize who I had loved. You think you're doing me a favor by being here, don't you? I asked. She smirked. Well, I means look at me. Look at you. There it was. Not a knife, but truth sharper than steel. I guess we're done then, I said. She laughed, cruel and confident. Please, no one else would want your boring life. I didn't shout. I didn't crumble. I just felt something break and fall quiet. We'll see, I whispered. That night, I packed my things. I left her key on the counter, like leaving a chapter behind. I walked out not angry, just emptied. I didn't know, yet that losing her was the beginning of getting myself back. I thought leaving would be the end, but endings rarely obey timing. For a few days, silence felt like peace dressed as confusion. Ava didn't disappear like I hoped. She flooded my phone with apologies wrapped in pride. It wasn't like that. You misunderstood. We were just joking. You're overreacting. The classic script of someone sorry they got caught, not sorry they hurt you. I ignored every message, every call, every crying voicemail. She alternated between sweet regret and sharp insults. That's when I realized love and control speak with the same voice sometimes. One night, I drove to clear my head, and my phone buzzed again. Blocked number. I almost didn't answer, but fate doesn't take no for an answer. Hey, it's Lena, she said softly. Ava's cousin. The one I picked up from the airport once, thinking I was being helpful. I heard about the breakup, she continued gently. I wanted to check on you. I tried to sound fine, but exhaustion leaked through. I didn't want pity, just truth. Lena hesitated, then took a breath like she was preparing to break glass. She's been posting your texts in our family group chat. Laughing at them. Calling you clingy for wanting to spend time with her. My stomach twisted like gravity changed. Your messages, she continued. She screenshot them for months. Only the ones that made her look powerful. Only the ones where you sounded loving. She called your gifts cheap. Said she was stuck waiting for someone better. I already knew the story, but hearing confirmation cut deeper than discovery. Lena's voice softened, almost apologetic. She talks about you like you're training wheels. Someone to learn from before moving up. I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles turned pale. Humiliation burns slower when spoken kindly. I should tell you something else, she added. She's been talking to Cole again. The Miami fantasy wasn't imaginary. Screenshots, flirty messages, plans whispered in digital shadows. She slipped once and posted a screenshot in our family chat by accident. Said she was tired of pretending. Pretending. 3 years, and I was a study guide for a future she hadn't earned. Lena sighed like she was embarrassed for Ava. I wanted to tell you sooner, but it wasn't my place. It hit me then. Kindness didn't come with glitter. Respect didn't need to be photographed. Gratitude didn't need hashtags. Lena treated me with more sincerity in one call than Ava had in months. Thank you, I said quietly, feeling the weight lift and land differently. She hesitated before hanging up. For what it's worth, you deserved better. The line clicked off, and I sat in my car staring at the quiet night. Not broken. Not angry. Just done. Truly done. The kind of done that doesn't leave space for return. I didn't reply to Ava ever again. I didn't explain. I didn't fight for a narrative. When someone shows you what you meant to them, believe it the first time. I walked away without looking back, because some chapters don't deserve rereading. Silence after ending, something toxic is not empty. It's quiet like a house after a storm, where you hear your own breathing again. Days passed without Ava's voice, and each one felt lighter. Then a message appeared, but it wasn't from her. Hey, it's Lena. Just checking in, hope you're holding up. It surprised me how much those words mattered. Not pity. Just presence. We met for coffee the next day, somewhere calm, not curated for photos. Lena arrived in a blazer and sneakers, hair tied back, eyes warm. No glitter, no performance, just someone real sitting across from me. She asked how I was, and she meant it. I told her the truth. It hurt, but it also felt like breathing for the first time in months. She listened without interrupting, without twisting my words for entertainment. When the check came, she reached for it. "Let me cover this one," she said, firm but gentle. I laughed softly. I had forgotten what balance felt like. We didn't rush into anything. It started with shared conversations, then shared jokes, then shared time. We took walks instead of chasing reservations. We cooked simple meals instead of posing for menus. I worked, she worked, and somehow we fit in the spaces between. She told me her goals with excitement, not entitlement. She didn't need saving. She needed partnership. That difference felt like sunlight. One evening, she told me something that stuck. Success isn't loud, Ethan. It doesn't need applause. It just needs peace. And I realized I had spent years chasing noise disguised as ambition. Meanwhile, Lena celebrated my stability, my hobbies, my routines. "You built something real," she said. "That's rare." We became something steady, not cinematic, but deeply human. Then came Ava's birthday. 1 year older, still playing Queen of a Kingdom made of filters. Lena's family had to attend, and she asked if I wanted to join. Not as a weapon, not as a trophy. Just as someone who had moved on. I agreed. Walking into that rooftop event felt like stepping back into a world I once worshipped. Flashing cameras, designer outfits, hollow laughter. A celebration of everything that never fulfilled me. Ava stood in the center, glowing for strangers. She saw me with Lena, and her smile cracked just enough to see the truth. Confusion first. Then shock. Then jealousy dressed as composure. She walked over pretending confidence, but her voice betrayed her. "You came," she said flatly. I nodded. Just supporting Lena. Her eyes flicked to Lena's hand in mine, and I saw the realization hit her. I wasn't coming back. I wasn't waiting. I wasn't hers to belittle or prove wrong anymore. For the first time, she wasn't the prize in the room. She was the lesson. And I didn't feel anger. Only closure. Real love had never been in that world. Real growth didn't need to be photographed. Standing beside Lena, I finally understood something simple. Healing isn't revenge. Moving forward is. 6 months is enough time for karma to lace its shoes and catch up. Life moved quietly for me, but loud for Ava in all the wrong ways. I focused on work, picked up freelance projects through Lena's dad. And suddenly opportunities grew where validation once lived. I wasn't chasing status anymore. I was building a life that felt mine. Ava, meanwhile, curated her post-breakup persona like a gallery. Motivational quotes, self-love captions, glamorous selfies. New hair, new nails, new attitude, same hunger for attention. She told everyone she left me because I couldn't keep up. Funny how lies sound brave until truth walks in unbothered. She announced she was moving to Miami for a career upgrade. A chance to work with luxury brands, she bragged. In reality, it was Cole whispering promises through late-night texts. A man who talked like opportunity and acted like a trap. Ava quit her job before they could fire her for unprofessional behavior. She bought new designer clothes she couldn't afford, took photos of suitcases on marble floors, and posted captions about leveling up and chasing destiny. She burned every bridge thinking wings would grow. Then she landed in Miami. And Cole didn't show. His number disconnected. His social media gone. Blocked from every direction like she never existed. She waited at the airport until the lights dimmed and the floor chilled. Then panic replaced pride. No hotel reservation. No backup plan. Just a girl with rented confidence and an empty bank account. That's when the calls started. Unknown numbers, desperate voicemails, shaky breathing. Ethan, I know I don't deserve it, but please, I need help. I'm scared. I don't know anyone here. I don't have money for a room. Every word sounded like the opposite of how she once spoke about me. Suddenly stability wasn't boring. Suddenly kindness wasn't weakness. Suddenly, the life she mocked looked like salvation. I didn't answer. Not out of cruelty. Out of closure. Some bridges aren't burned. Some bridges were never real to begin with. She called Lena next. Then Lena's mother. A chain of pleas wrapped in regret. She returned home a week later using her parents' emergency credit card. No job waiting. No boyfriend. No friends who stuck around without nightlife benefits. The same people who hyped her confidence now avoided her reality. Luxury captions disappeared. Outfits turned humble. Stories went silent. She moved back into her childhood room and took a retail job at the mall. Ava the dream became Ava the lesson. Not because she fell, but because she climbed on people instead of standing on her own feet. Meanwhile, I woke up each morning feeling steady, not spectacular but real. Coffee with Lena. Walks without performing. A life without needing applause to feel worthy. Sometimes losing someone isn't losing at all. Sometimes it's clearing space for what was always meant for you. She once told me success was shiny. Turns out success is quiet, grounded, and kind. And karma. Karma doesn't shout either. It just waits. Then speaks in results. In the end, nothing exploded. No dramatic confrontation. No triumphant speech. No audience clapping. Life simply moved on without her in it. I didn't win by watching her fall. I won by finally standing somewhere healthy. Ava became a chapter, not a wound. A reminder, not a regret. Lena and I grew steady, quiet, real. Not perfect, not glossy, just honest. Love felt like breathing again, instead of bargaining. I learned that peace isn't boring, it's priceless. Stability isn't small, it's strong. Validation from strangers never mattered. Loyalty from one person does. I used to think love was about proving you're enough. Now I know love is about choosing someone who already sees you as enough. Ava chased glitter and lost gold. I walked away and found something real waiting for me. Some stories don't end with revenge. Some end with release. And sometimes the greatest victory is not who you get, but who you no longer need to be.